Vice President Constantino Chiwenga and his wife takes a center stage at Zimbabwe Defense Forces Day today because Vice President Constantino Chiwenga backs in military sport light as he arrives before President Emerson Mnangagwa. Kusangana kwataita zvakare pana pa YouTube channel yenyu yeMagaba News patinobata nhau dzinenge dzichiitika munharaunda nemunyika yedu yeZimbabwe, tichingokurudzirana kuti kana pane vanhu vachangosvika pano paMagaba News ndiwo mukana wekubaya button rakandi subscribe nekutena notification bell kuti patoposta nhau idzi unova uri wekutanga kusangana nenews dzatinenge taisa. Today we have a news of arrival of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga and also Vice President retired Kembo Muhadi, and also pazosvika vaMnangagwa Vice President ese abva kusvika. So nawiripo Vice President Constantino Chiwenga varakidza kutambirwa neruzhinji chisvika paZimbabwe Defense Forces day iri kucelebratewa muRufaro Stadium. So tisatapinda munhau dzizere ngationei Vice President vachisvika. Ndiyo mufananidzo wamakamuchiona wa Vice President Constantino Chiwenga vachisvika paRufaro Stadium. So according to news, Zimbabwe's national leadership has gathered at Rufaro Stadium in Harare for this year's Zimbabwe's Defense Forces Day celebration, with the arrival of senior government officials drawing attention as the country marks the occasion. According to the post shared from the event, Vice President and retired General Constantino Chiwenga and also Vice President Kembo Muhadi arrived at the stadium ahead of the main process. The image from the venue showed Chiwenga making his way into the stadium alongside officials and security personnel as crowd gathered for the national event. The celebration are being held up under the theme associated with the Zimbabwe Defense Forces role in maintaining peace and stability. Shortly after the arrival of the two Vice President, President Emerson Mnangagwa and the First Lady also arrived at Rufaro Stadium. A post circulating on social media reported that President and the First Lady arrived followed shortly after that of Vice President Chiwenga and his wife Mnangagwa Baloi. The atmosphere at Rufaro Stadium is also being highlighted by those attending this celebration. Journalists describe the atmosphere as energetic, saying the public turnout reflects support for the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. The event bringing together senior government officials and members of the security service, invited gatherers, guests and members of the public to commemorate Defense Forces Day. For Zimbabwe Defense Forces Day is an important national occasion because it provides an opportunity to recognize the men and women serving the country's defense institution and to reflect on their role in national security and peace. The presence of the country's top leadership also given the occasion significant political and national visibility. Vice President Constantino Chiwenga's appearance is particularly notable because of his background as a retired military commander and his current position within the government. His arrival at the stadium alongside Vice President Muhadi placed the two Vice Presidents among the first senior officials being seen marking their way into the celebration. The image also shows a large security and official presence around the leaders as they entered the venue. So ndo masvikiro aita Vice President Constantino Chiwenga ende varakidza kufarirwa nevanhu, asi munongoziva kuti vanhu vemunyika yeZimbabwe nevamwe veZANU-PF vachiri kutya kuti vanonzi muri vemadivision muri kusapota Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. asi mazvinzwira pavidhio muchiona vachisvika vice president Constantino Chiwenga. Munochiine nhau idzi ndidzo news dzatati tichikuzivisai maererano nekusvika kwavice president Constantino Chiwenga vachisvika pazuva rinova riri zuva remauto emunyika yeZimbabwe riri kunzi Zimbabwe Defence Forces Day riri kuitirwa paRufaro Stadium. Ndidzo news dzatinadzo pano paYouTube channel yenyu yeMagaba News.